Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing amazing. So tonight we're going to be talking about 7 red flags. 7 red flags that it's time for you to possibly rebrand your business. And um, I don't want to go so far back as to talk about what branding is, but we all know powerful brands. And branding really just means, okay, um, I stand for something. And a lot of these big companies nowadays are really getting questioned as to what do they really stand for. And that's what branding is. It doesn't mean if you sell coffee or if you sell water or if you sell diapers, you got to stand for something. You know, Malcolm X says if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. So, what does that mean? The brand is by what people identify you with. So I don't care if you're Starbucks, then your brand is coffee. If you're Nike, then your brand is athletic shoes. If your brand is Corona, then you stand for imported beer. You got to stand for something. And that's why it's so critical that you, hey, Bliss Beauty University, that you not try to sell the world to make $1 million. It's critical that you define what your brand stands for and understanding that even though a brand is supposed to be forever, things change, we change, the world changes. And so sometimes it's necessary for you to rebrand. I'll give you an example. If I was a coach, and initially I was a coach for women who had small children, as my children grew up, the things that I had in common with those women that I used to coach would shift. And therefore, it would be time for me to possibly rebrand. I'm in the middle of a rebranding because in my new brand, I want to serve women who are committed to, to getting to 7 figures. I don't care where they are in their journey. And that's a special woman. That's a special person that says, I don't care how much I'm making now. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get me to 7 figures. That's not just everybody. And so as I release my new brand, I've gone from just helping anybody make extra money to really refining and perfecting those things that will get my clients to 7 figures faster. I'm not saying it's going to get them there overnight, but it's going to get them there faster than them trying to do it themselves. So there are some red flags. There are some red flags that will let you know when it's time for you to rebrand. Let me give you a hint. For a lot of businesses, COVID was one of them. And then if COVID weren't enough, back to back, the racial and civil unrest, that's another one. Brands are having to draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we stand for. And when you don't do that as a brand, you run the risk of not making money because you got to stand with somebody. And those brands that refuse to step up, hey, Katrina, and say, this is who I stand for, or this is who I stand with, are going to eventually lose money. So I wanted to talk to you tonight about some red flags to rebranding, and also for those of you who need to improve your business, whether it's your online, excuse me, Kujam, whether it's your online presence that needs rebranding, whether it is your brick and mortar that needs rebranding, maybe you've just plateaued in your revenue and you need some help. I encourage you to apply for this rebranding boot camp. We have a grant that you can seek bit.ly/freewomen2020. But let's talk about why you need to rebrand. There's about 12 different red flags that will tell you, but I'm going to talk about the biggest ones. And all of these eventually lead to your loss of revenue or your revenue staying the same. How many of you as business owners want to make more money year over year? Go ahead and say me. How many of you as business owners want to make more money every year? And a lot of the problem is, and I'm doing a profit planning session this next coming weekend, is that a lot of you don't even know what you made last year. So you don't know how to get from where you were to where you want to be. But the reason you're in business to begin with is to make money. And that's the biggest red flag, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. If your online presence does not match your offer, you need to rebrand ASAP. If your website is out of date, if your social media is out of date, are your business cards out of date, are your flyers out of date? If your stuff, somebody say ouch, because I know somebody sitting in the audience right now has an out of date website that you hate sending people to because it's out of date. I know somebody sitting in the audience right now has an outdated LinkedIn. You have a outdated Facebook. You have a outdated Instagram. You have a outdated Periscope. You have a, come on now, somebody say ouch. And your presence, your online presence doesn't match what you're offering. Let me tell you another time it's time to rebrand. If you want to sell $1 million products, you better look like $1 million. Can somebody say amen? And that a lot of times will tell you when your brand needs a makeover because you're trying to sell something that you don't look like. It's almost like me out there trying to sell wigs. Did y'all catch that? So if if the way you look online, your online presence doesn't match the price of your products or services, you need to rebrand. If your online presence doesn't match what you're offering, you need to rebrand. If you have a daycare and every time I look at your personal page, I see fried chicken and stir fry and fried rice, that doesn't match. And did you even know that your personal page is a part of your brand? So I know you want to show the latest pictures of you and your boo, but if you can't wrap it around your brand, if it doesn't match your brand, you got to realize that everything you do, you're going to be judged. I'm going to pick on somebody. I think your name is Tracy. Is that right? Resume Workshop? Let me know because I'm going to pick on you. I'm gonna pick on you. Let me know if it's okay. Because I want to give you guys real life examples of what it looks like when you need to rebrand and how you would be able to do that. And that's what our branding workshop is about. Our branding boot camp is 10 weeks. You can apply for a grant, a $9,000 grant towards that boot camp. Go to bit.ly/freewomen2020. But you've got to know when it's time for you to rebrand. I'm going to wait on her to give me an okay, and then I'm going to use her business as an example. Yeah, nobody's going to even, if you're trying to sell $1 million product and you don't look like $1 million from a credibility perspective, nobody's gonna believe in you. You've got to level up the look of your website, your social media, professional graphics. That's a mark people miss all the time. You can't do your own graphics and really feel like you're going to be at that next level, right? Sometimes if you want that next level of revenue, You've got to get a whole new look to your bid. Let me tell you something else that I'm going to be helping people do in this rebranding boot camp. Sometimes you got to separate yourself as the CEO of your business in order for your business to look like a bigger business. Wait a minute, did y'all catch that? There's a big difference between a coach and a coaching firm. There's a big difference between a coach and a team. And sometimes even the name of your business. So Tracy's brand is Resume Workshop. Now, when we think resumes nowadays, what do we think? So I probably would update my business name to Digital Resumes. Listen to the difference. Resume Workshop, which she's been since I've known her for probably 2 or 3 years, versus Digital Resume. Which one sounds more current? And see, in light of what everybody just went through, where in March, Resume Workshop may have been okay, now that we've gone to 90% of everything being online, just a small shift in the name and the rebranding could be the difference between no new clients and more clients than you can even handle. And a lot of times we're so close to what we're doing, we can't figure it out by ourselves. So sometimes we need a professional to be able to look at our brand and say, Coach, what do I need to do differently to have a sold out product? And that's why we're offering this rebranding boot camp and grants, because I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is to help other business owners get to the next level. I know people are struggling. So if you meet me part of the way, I can help you. bit.ly/freewomen2020. That's how you get your application in. So if your online presence does not match your offer, it's time for you to rebrand. Another sign, another major sign, it's time for you to rebrand. If your earnings have stayed the same or have gone down, if your earnings have stayed the same, have gone down, or you are having too hard a time finding new clients, listen, stop lying to yourself. There's money out there. There's new clients out there. There are people that can afford to hire you, even at a higher price. So guess what? Don't act like, hey, Tina, happy Sunday. Don't act like your brand is not popping because people don't have money. That's not true. Your brand is not popping because your brand no longer makes them want to spend money with you. People have got to want to spend money with you. And guys, if you haven't shared this broadcast, this is $1 million information. Because if you call me tomorrow one-on-one and say, Coach, I need information on rebranding my business, can you do an assessment? I'm going to tell you all of these things. I'm going to charge you $1,500. So pay close attention and share this broadcast so other business owners can get this information too. If your earnings have stayed the same, if your earnings have gone down, or if you're having too hard a time finding new clients, it's time for you to rebrand. Your marketing is supposed to do the work for you. You should be working hard on your marketing content, but you shouldn't be running down people in the street. You shouldn't have to fight to find clients. It's too many people out there that have revenue. They have money. And that's another story we've got to stop telling ourselves, is that nobody has the revenue. That's not true. Everybody hasn't lost their job. Everybody isn't pinching pennies. When you really hit the root of what people want and need, people will spend money for it. So don't miss the opportunity to rebrand and get your messaging right, get your marketing right, so that people can spend money with you. So the first red flag is that your online presence doesn't match your offer. The second red flag is that your earnings have stayed the same, going down, or you're working too hard to get clients. Another red flag, your messaging or the problem that you solve is out of style. You say, well, coach, how does a problem go out of style? I'll give you an example. What if I were a Walkman repairman? Anybody know what a Walkman is? Some of y'all might not know. Walkman's been gone so long that some of y'all might not know. But a Walkman, when CDs first came out, long before MP3s and long before Pandora and Spotify, you had to carry your music around on these little CD discs. And at the time, everybody had a Walkman. So at the time, if I was somebody who could repair a Walkman, I probably was pretty popular. But when Walkmans went out of style, I had to find another job. When boom boxes went out of style, when tape recorders went out of style, when 8-tracks went out of style. You still got people out there trying to repair computers when in actuality it's almost cheaper for you to get a new one. So if your problem, the problem that you solve, has gone out of style, it's time for you to rebrand. And some of you guys, unfortunately, are so disconnected, you don't necessarily know that either your problem has gone out of style or the way people want to use it has shifted. You've got to stay in tune to your industry, because when you don't know what's going on in your industry, it is very easy for you to lose money. I'm gonna give you an example. What's a problem that's gone out of style? During COVID, you couldn't buy, and even right now, you can't pay me to go into a nail shop. You can't. So if I were a nail shop, I would probably rebrand, and I would offer things like individual cubicles. I would offer things like one-on-one appointments. I would offer things like social distancing. I would have the signage to say, yes, I have a nail shop, but everybody in the nail shop is 6 feet apart. We use pallets for the nail polish. We don't reuse any utensils. You have to sometimes rebrand what you're doing in order for it to make sense right now. Just because you understand it doesn't mean everybody else understands it. Another red flag, you're not connecting with your audience. If your audience does not want what you have, can I give you guys an example? A lot of times we love our products so much that we miss why a customer needs our product. I had a health coach one time, and she was so fastidious about health that she almost turned me off from being healthy. Hey, boss business babe. She would tell me the origin of foods as if that would make me quit eating the food. Listen, I don't need to know everything you know. I just need your encouragement and accountability to keep me on course. Sometimes you can turn people off with your expertise. That means you're not connecting. Have y'all ever had a doctor with bad bedside manner They may have been the best doctor in the world, but you hated going to them because they weren't good in making you feel comfortable. People nowadays, they want the total package. If they come to the Gucci store, the Fendi store, they want the experience. They want the champagne toast. They want the red carpet rolled out to them. They don't just want a bag wrapped up, thrown in a bag, and say, here's your $5,000 bag. So you've got to connect with your audience so that they want, what you have. And you've got to understand the psychology of people. Cheap doesn't necessarily make people buy. Do you guys know that? That just because your product is cheap doesn't mean people. As a matter of fact, nowadays, people will shy away from your product if it's too cheap. Why? Because they're saying, what's wrong with it? If it's that cheap, it's got to be something wrong with it. And so, one more thing before we move on in this rebranding thing. Sometimes your cheap products will attract the wrong clientele. Can I get an amen? A $1,000 client will work you harder than a $100,000 client. Y'all don't believe me? Y'all don't believe me? I had something on my site for $9. And it was really an accident because it was really a special for my current clients. But some kind of way, somebody got hold of the link. They bought that $9 product, and in less than 12 hours, they wanted their money back. And I said, wow. They bought that $9 product, thought I was going to be coaching them one-on-one for $9. And when they found out, it's not, my one-on-one started at $1,500. I don't have no one-on-one time for $900. Even if I'm running a seasonal special, it's still $500 to talk to me on the phone. They want their $9 back. That's my team. Not only can y'all take that link down ASAP, but can y'all please run her $9 immediately? She done cost me $9 worth of payroll fooling with her issue. I had to pay the email marketing person that got the email. I had to pay the payroll team to send her $9 back. And then my operations manager had to follow up. You done took 3 people's time for $9. Please, please, please. If you don't do anything else I say ever, respect your pricing enough to understand that it's the cheapest of people. And it almost makes you not want to create affordable products. And I always have to go back to, I create affordable products because I have helped thousands of people by creating affordable products. I always have to remind myself, girl, it ain't everybody. It ain't. It's some of them, but it ain't. But when it comes to my time, my personal intellect, you're not going to be able to spend one-on-one time with me for less than $15,000 a year. And that is a bargain. And that's a combination of group and one-on-one. You want me all to yourself? You run me $60,000 and we good. You can have me. Me and my team will do it all for you. You've got to understand the value of your time. And you've got to understand that until you know your value, nobody else will. I was showing you guys the other day the fastest way to $100,000. You don't need 100,000 people. This is people's mentality. Can I help y'all with something real quick before I get back on this rebranding? Y'all think I got 5,000 Facebook friends. If each one of them spend $1 with me, that's not logical. That's not logistical. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense. If you've got 5,000 Facebook friends, your goal should be to get 100 of them to spend at least $1,000 with you. That's $100,000. If you get 1,000 of them to spend 1,000 with you, that's $1 million. Know your numbers, know your goals, know your intent, know your objective. And that's why I want to only work with the women who are hungry enough to do exactly what I say do to go get this money. No hesitation, no excuses, understanding that this is all a numbers game. And if you play the game relentlessly, you will win. It has nothing to do with how cute you are. And I've even seen people with ugly websites make $1 million a year. If you are relentless and you got the right strategy, you're going to win. Period. And that's why we're rebranding to only work with people who understand generational wealth and really want to come away with high 6 and 7 figures a year. It's not everybody. And it breaks my heart because I know everybody has $1 million potential. You don't believe me? Spend $1,500, get on the phone with me. I'll show you $1 million in your business. Unless, how many of y'all have seen me do it? Say me. Come on now. I know my clients have, because we stay in that math. We stay on that blackboard. We stay with that chalk. Hello? Because I don't ever want you to get it twisted on what the goal is. If we're going to go big. Ain't no sense of going small. And that brings me to this next piece of sometimes why you need rebranding is because you need a new image. Even for yourself. The unfortunate part is your $1 million is sitting somewhere with the people that ain't even met you yet. It's not going to come from your cousins and them. Pookie and Ray them ain't going to never. You could go get a double doctorate, a law degree, a PhD, and work at AT&T. And Pookie and Ray them ain't going to never spend money with you. Your best friends and them, they're not going to never spend money with you. It is the people that you haven't met yet that's holding your $1 million. So sometimes you need a new image so that when they meet you, they know exactly why they should be spending their money with you. And that's a very true story. A lot of times we expect so much support from our friends and our family and all of these people that we've always known. But keep in mind, if they've always known you, they knew you when you was hopping in and out of the club. Hello? Hey, Janine, if they've always known you, they knew you when you was at everybody's happy hour. Hello? And unfortunately, once people cast you into an image, I don't care how much you grow, they're still going to cast you in that same image. So a lot of times you need a new image, not just for them, but for your own expectations of $1 million. Sometimes you need a new image for your own opportunity to move to the next level. Sometimes you got to even remind yourself that you've changed. I remember a quote by Jay-Z, and somebody was giving him a hard time saying, man, you sure have changed. And he said, I did not work this hard to stay the same. I didn't work this hard to live in the same house, to drive the same car, to struggle with the same bills. Somebody say amen if you hear me. I didn't work that hard. I didn't work that hard. I was looking at houses earlier, and the houses we were looking at last night in River Oaks were like 10 million. You can go to the country and get the same house for like 3 million. And I had to remind myself that I deserved to live in that house and that I could afford to live in that house. I didn't work this hard. The only reason I'm still in this house is till them girls crossed that stage in December, owing nobody, with no student loans. I did not work this hard to stay the same. It doesn't mean I have to change my personality because I'm going to always still be real me. But I had an option that if people don't like it, they just don't like it. And that's another thing. Even inside of your new image, being as close to yourself as you can when you rebrand, that's what's going to make you the money. I want to make a whole lot of female millionaires. Man, I'm still going to cuss people out. I'm still going to act silly in meetings. I'm still going to remember that life is real good. I don't have to be like this super serious ogre to make this money. I don't. And you don't either. I'm still going to be me. And I understand that everybody's not going to understand it and everybody's not going to like it. But that's what you got to understand at rebranding. Your target, the people that are going to pay you are going to love it. And that's enough. Another red flag, guess what? Sometimes you just outgrow your old brand. Sometimes you just outgrow your old brand. And in order for me to really live up to my aspirations, I got to start pulling some millionaires, not just some six-figure earners, not just some women that quit their jobs. I got to start pulling some millionaires out of the hat. And so in order for me to do that, I got to understand that there's a certain woman I'm looking for. And that's what you got to know. Your brand ain't for everybody. Somebody say amen. My brand ain't for everybody. My brand is only for the hungry people. When I talk to my clients, I need them to know that the sky is the limit and it don't take all day to fly. Did somebody say amen? The sky is the limit and it don't take all day to get there. And here's another thing you got to understand. Environments like this, in racial and civil unrest, environments like this that we ain't never been through before, pandemics, baby, more millionaires are going to be born out of this season. More millionaires are born out of civil unrest and racial. More millionaires are born out of uncertainty than are born when everything's the plain and everybody's comfortable. So I'm on the hunt for some uncomfortable women who want to make some uncomfortable money, doing some uncomfortable shit. Period. So I said, I want to do this first. I want to offer these grants for the women that really are struggling to get what they need. bit.ly/freewomen2020. I'm offering a 9K grant towards your 10-week branding boot camp. You still got to pay $1,000. If you can't come with $1,000, this definitely ain't the boot camp for you. Sorry. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for those women who ready. And then after this grant period, it's on and popping. I'm looking for my 7-figure sisterhood, the women that want to ride out and understand that it's smash and grab season, and that the bottom line is that nobody can stop us from baking this bread. You know who's been stopping us in the past? Ourselves. We've been so busy fighting ourselves, worried about the wrong things, letting ancillary things get in the way, not really giving ourselves 100%. Does anybody feel me on that? Giving everybody else 100%. Giving our jobs 100%. Our men and our children 100%. Giving our friends 100%. And then when emergencies happen, and we have to look back and say, what did I do with my time that has caused me not to be prepared right now? We got to be honest and say, I gave it away. At some point, you got to do something different. And you got to give yourself 100%. Stop cheating yourself. Because when the chips are down and them bills start coming, all them people you gave to are going to be conspicuously absent. It's got to be all about you right now, especially if you over, I want to say if you over 40, anybody over 40, I'm 49. I'm in smash and grab mode because I don't want to work for the rest of my life. I don't know if you heard me. What I mean by smash and grab mode is that I'm taking advantage of every opportunity to generate revenue. I don't have time to be sitting around praying, Lord, is this the right opportunity? I'm in smash and grab mode. I'm 49. I've really been in this mode since I was 40. So if you're 37, you early to the party. You ought to pat yourself on the back because you really could make it across that $1 million line by the time you 40. If you over 50, girl, you got to quit playing games. You got to stop it. You got to stop it right now. And I don't say it to discriminate against anybody for their age. But at what point do you just say to yourself, I don't have the strategy to get there, and I'm willing to invest anything I need to invest to get the strategy. I just don't have it. I don't have it. And I'm willing to invest whatever it takes. And that's been the key to my success. And some of it was wrong investments, but some of it was right investments. And it has poised me to be where I am today, to not only be able to invest in my family and my children, but to also be able to now invest in my retirement home, work to pay it off in a year or two. You know, it's just so many opportunities that I would not have had I not been relentless. And I'm tired of begging women to save themselves. I'm tired of begging women to get help. And tired of seeing them fail miserably. And tired of seeing them settle for less than what they could have. And I want to always make sure that I can sleep at night. And what that means is that I'm always going to offer women an opportunity to go with me. And they have to choose. They have to choose at what level they go with me. They got to choose how consistent they're going to be in going with me on this journey. They got to choose how much they want to put into it. Like Drake says, way more people that want it than people that have it. So for you guys who are looking to get into that rebranding boot camp, so you can come out of 10 weeks doing something different, looking different, demanding your worth, being able to see a different level for your business. Go to bit.ly/freewomen2020. Get your application in. Dr. Nikki said, I'm tired of using old strategies. Can we come to can we come to an impasse and just understand that bad strategies will never work, right? If I want to make a cake, if I don't have a good recipe, that recipe ain't gonna never work. Now, over time, I may eventually figure out that recipe. But look at how much time, energy, effort, frustration, money I've lost trying to figure it out by myself. Instead of just saying, okay, I'm finna go, hey sis, I'm finna go get my coins together and I'm gonna invest in somebody helping me figure out this recipe so I can go be about the business of baking these cakes. That's a decision everybody's got to make. You've got to be tired of doing the work and not getting the results. You got to be tired of doing the work and not getting the results. And then you've got to realize too that the best investment you're going to ever make is an investment in yourself. Because if you invest in yourself the right way, you can take the returns from that investment and invest in everything from your children, your generational wealth, your retirement, your new house, your car. You got to start somewhere. Got to start somewhere. Guys, be on the lookout too. I'm going to be doing a quick down and dirty webinar this week to talk about some of this business money, some of these grants, some of these opportunities that you guys are missing. Even if you apply for PPP and some of that other stuff and was denied, we're going to talk about why you were denied and what you can do to position yourself to get that money in the future. Guys, this, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. But this is the start of a brand new season. And I don't care how much seed you put in the ground before. It's going to be what you plant in this season that's going to make the difference. I don't care what you did with your time before. I don't care what you did with your energy before. It's going to be what you plant right now. See, the Bible was specific. The Bible says for everything there is a reason. And what that means is that if it's not your season right now, or if it hadn't been your season before, some of that thing was just to get you ready for that season. But you got to understand that when the season comes, you can't plant in the winter. You can't plant in the thorny ground. You can't plant. Y'all see Cujo over here? Cut daddy call Cujo. He over here bumping me. You can't plant in the rocky ground. So whatever you planted before is great, but the sun is about to shine on a lot of people. And you need to be positioned for that sun to shine. No excuses, not making up any reasons not to go. It's too much opportunity out there. And a lot of you are missing it because you're not in the right circles to receive that information. So I'm gonna have the information out for you guys first thing in the morning so you can register. I think I'm gonna do it Thursday night because a lot of this stuff got time limits on it. And you don't want to miss the time limits. So hey Celestine, I've been seeing you in forever. Yep, but Nikki, I gotta ask you, Dr. Nikki, how many more wake-up calls you gonna have, love? He keep telling you, keep telling you, keep telling you. Some of y'all should have been gone, could have been gone. And I was telling somebody earlier that the enemy doesn't challenge you until you've got something that he wants. And he wants your destiny. If you out there acting a fool, you're all right. But the minute he starts to see the light and you start to see the light, that's when everything starts to fall apart. That's when you know you're getting close. And that's why you got to hang in there. You got to hang in there like you never hung in there before and really see the opportunity. All right, love. Those wake-up calls, those wake-up calls, those wake-up calls. Stop waiting to be woke up a million times. Some of y'all, Giselle, should have been gone. I've been telling y'all, come on this journey. It's not always a straight line, but we all going to the same end result and the same destination. So I'll see you guys first thing in the morning. Be on the lookout for that webinar because all of y'all should be getting blessed in your business right now with the money that you need to take yourself and your business to the next level. Make sure you go to bit.ly/freewomen2020 for that rebranding grant. If it's time for you to rebrand your business, or even if you need to build an online business, we got a program for that. If you need your business or coaching certification, we got a grant program for that. Guys, we're giving back over $1 million in grants. You got to raise your hand, get in the room, and take advantage, okay? I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing evening.